My name's Gary, and I'm a citizen journalist with an independent disability rights organisation called Access Dorset. As someone who's had contact with a variety of health services and with an interest in citizen empowerment, I was curious when I came across a project called NHS Citizen. It's all about connecting the public with NHS decisions, and I thought I'd find out a bit more about it.
So let's start with the purpose of NHS Citizen. It's about trying to find and connect the public conversation that's happening right now about the NHS.
So I'm on the NHS Citizen website, and it's early stages. The design process has been a very open process with public events and workshops being held around the country. These have all been webcast and can be found online, so I'm going to take a look and see what it's all about.
Our scope is the Board of NHS England wanting to listen more effectively directly to patients.
The first promise is no wrong door.
We're inviting people, we're encouraging people, we're giving them permission, we're giving them space.
But also, how does it deliver on the second promise, which is every issue answered?
We shouldn't be afraid of saying we don't know.
It's trying to gather as many voices as possible so that people who do make decisions, which will always be the NHS Board or NHS commissioning managers, have the biggest set of public views and public information to work on.
So it will be regularly checking to see if it's working, if it's the right format, if it's effective.
There is such an obvious conversation about culture change.
The culture change is about getting those people to feel that they're actually being heard.
How do you create an environment where it is okay to raise things?
How do we ensure that we engage patient voice?
It's about conversations.
It's because this has to be a two-way flow.
Most important thing is it needs to be inclusive.
It needs to be understood by the wider audience who are not able to, use IT and so on.
You've got to have on the ground people who are already linked into organisations.
Surely it's better to allow that to be driven by the people who want to talk about an issue, rather than artificially saying, oh, well, these are like important issues, let's talk about them.
Well, it's quite clear that NHS Citizen isn't a complaints service. It seems the NHS want to share responsibility with us, the public, which to me sounds great. I'm interested to find out what the structure of NHS Citizen is.
It isn't an organisation. There will never be a chief executive of NHS Citizen. It's a way of working and connecting all of the other things that are going on.
There seems to be a commitment to drive real culture change in the way the NHS engage.
It's about working together. That's what we're doing. It's not about us taking control or NHS England taking control of NHS Citizen. It's about co-creation. That means working together.
From what I've seen, there's something really different about these workshops and meetings and events that we haven't seen before. They want to break down the barriers and bring everybody together. I really like this concept. It feels like a real collaboration, and the NHS England Board sincerely want to listen to what we have to say.
We need to change the NHS, and we need to do that with the permission of the people who pay for it and use it.
So the first thing you should not underestimate is the commitment of everybody, certainly me, but all my colleagues on the board of NHS England, to do something very different about making participation real.
We need to be able to say, look, this clearly is an issue, let's just all acknowledge it and try and fix it.
So we all know the board can't solve problems on the spot, but at this assembly they will be committing to taking on the issues raised, which means that we'll be able to hold them to account.
The end product of it might not be a 25-page strategy, but actually the ability to make a series of commitments as to what happens next.
This model will allow the public to play an active role in improving our national health system. I think that's a brilliant concept, but is this amount of culture change really possible, or am I being too cynical?
Can you please keep being cynical? I don't think this is a silver bullet, but without the cynicism and the challenge, we won't develop something that actually works.
We want NHS to listen to us, because you want to improve your work. You've got to listen to us too, because we are your bosses.